Hello, friends. Welcome to Too Many Minis. It's the big Middle Earth previews day on Warhammer Community, and I was hosting a party today for my partner's family, and I couldn't watch the stream. I had to sneak away to the toilet to catch up on what was going on. Um, and nobody suspected anything. I think I got away with it, and I kept up with what was happening, but I've looked at everything now and I'm pretty happy and excited. And I want you to have a little look through what we're getting. So, first up, they showed the new Battle of Osgiliath, Lord of the Rings Battle of Osgiliath starter box, which we thought was coming, but it's a bit more exciting than I was expecting. It's got Yep, a Gothmog-led Mordor army and a Faramir-led Minas Tirith army, but it also has Damrod and Madril in plastic, that's a real surprise. I didn't know that, and it's not a foot and mounted Faramir, which kind of makes sense because you know Faramir on horse without armor is a pretty risky proposition. And I think these three look great. They're going to look super great with the two Forge World Ranger heroes. I think that's a cool addition. And you've got that quite nice thing of, three smaller heroes versus one big hero on the Mordor side, which is a nice way to be introduced to the game. I think because you can do it either way. It's got a mixture. Looks like it's got one Minas Tirith Warrior kit and one Ranger kit. And then you've got this new plastic Gothmog, which I think's a bit great. I mean, the Warg's pretty out there, but then the shot where we do see him is pretty gruesome. But I think the Gothmog's fantastic, and I just think the model's great. I think the model's great, foot and mounted, and apparently he comes with the mace or sword options, which is a nice little nod to the brief mace bit. And you get more Morannons and 24 Morannons and another troll kit. Now, this is great. This is all the excuse I need to finally assemble a drum troll. I don't know if I'll be using all the Morannons up, but I will be picking up this kit. I think one of the main things I'm excited about is this new Osgiliath scenery, and they showed off the sprue in the live stream, and it's like the Rohan houses kit. It's really modular, and you can build it complete. You can build it in ruins. I can't wait if they do like a 3-pack of this. Like a 7-pack, like they did with Rohan Stronghold. I can really see people doing some great stuff with these kits, knocking them together into really nice buildings or nice destroyed buildings. I think it's a great Gondor kit, and I think it's just what we need. The book is not a new edition. I was saying last week, there's some rumors saying it was a new edition, some rumors saying it's not. It's not. It's like a consolidated rules manual with the errata and facts in it. I assume it's going to have all of the scenarios in it, so you don't need the match play guide, which would be a huge plus. They didn't say that specifically, but I'm going to assume that they're all in there. That would be top. Ruling. You're getting rid of a book from your bag. And then it's got a little booklet, scenarios and profiles specific to that Battle of Osgiliath box contents. So I think this is it's just not. I guess in some ways it's not super exciting for existing players of the game, but this is the perfect starter box. I think it's a really good move from them. And we just have a look up here at the box contents. It's not clear to me, but that may be some sort of card board to play on, paper or card board. It's got one of those little range rulers. It's got some crappy dice. I think it's a really good starter box. They kind of were mumbling about, it's going to cost a similar amount to Pelennor, maybe a bit more. I think that's going to be really good. I think the price is going to be really good. And I think it's, a really cool starter box. And I will be picking one up for sure. The next thing they announced was the Battle Host boxes. And this is, again, it's like Not super exciting if you're a long time player of the game, but these have been so necessary for so long. We have start collecting boxes, combat patrols, battle boxes, whatever, in AOS and 40k. We really need these, and because of the going all plastic in these boxes, it's been a very long time since we've had them in Lord of the Rings in Middle Earth. We can now do some of them. So yeah, you've got a Mordor box, the Witch King, regular Mordor orcs, and the Warg Riders sprue. So that builds really well off the Osgiliath box if you're just building a Mordor army. No duplication with the box. 2 more unit types and another different HQ with a lot of magic. Isengard battle box, maybe not such a great starter because Saruman is tricky to use in game with a lot of rules, but you have to hide a lot. But again, you've got good choice of sprues. I think they've got the Scout sprue in there, and they've got the regular Uruk-hai warriors in there with Grima and Saruman foot mounted. They haven't put in there the silly siege team sprue, with ladders and stuff. They could have done that. They didn't. That's good. It's a nice box, and Isengard is one of the forces I have few troops for myself. So I can see myself getting this. I don't have the Saruman model yet. And when I'm going to do Isengard, the thing I need is the plastic kits. So this could be a good one for me. The Ministry of Battle Host, again, builds off what's in the Osgiliath box. So you get an alternative. You get Big Gandalf the White with Pippin. You've got a sprue of knights and another sprue of warriors. Solid building off that. There's not so many options they can do with it, but it's pretty solid. And Rohan. So with Rohan, they had a lot more choice of what to put in there. They could have put Theoden in there, but he was in the last starter set. They could have put Eowyn in there, the plastic Eowyn, but no, they've gone with Eomer, which I think is a good choice. Some riders, some foot soldiers. It's a good one. You could buy this following up from the Pelennor box and be building your army. So it's a solid one there. And that's all the battle hosts they've announced so far. But I was thinking about it, and there's at least 2 more they could do right away. They could do a Mirkwood one with Tauriel and Legolas, and then Rangers and Palace Guard. Those are all in plastics. They could do Goblin Town with the Goblin King and just some regular Goblin Town guys. And that would come with the Scribe and the little Captain guy. They could do a Moria one with the Balrog and Goblins. Neither of those are that exciting, but I think the Mirkwood one is a good shot. And then they're just a few plastic heroes away from being able to do some others. I can really see them doing Lothlorien, but we'd need a kind of plastic Celeborn Galadriel box. Could happen. So it could be in some future hit. There's just 2 Haradrim plastic kits and the Mumak. They could be boxed up. I don't know if they're unlikely to get a plastic hero. Some of the Easterlings, they're not going to get a plastic hero now. We've just had, well, it seems unlikely when we've just had all the new Easterling stuff. But there is prospect for more of these battle hosts down the line. Then they showed off Glauvendel, and boy, that's a stunner. Like, this is quite a model. I've got to get one of these. It's not really what I need right now. I have all the existing Glauvendel models. I don't have plans to do an elf army at the moment, but look at that. I mean, I love him as a character anyway. Like, in any game, I'm always excited. In the card game, whatever, I'm always excited about Glauvendel. I think he's a proper hero. I love Asfalaf's little bells on the back of his harness. They're specifically mentioned in the book. He's got his little plaits in his hair. The armor is ornate and kind of antique looking, just as it should be. These are really great sculpts. Forge World resin. It's going to be a stunner. They're already up for pre-order, or they're going to be next Saturday pre-order. So you're going to get the Glorfindel, Rumil and Orofin, which we'd already seen in the Defense of the North book, but this is them being unveiled, and again they're going to be up for order next Saturday. And new Galadrim Court, which is a bit of a weird one. I mean, I guess they're in fine casts; they're not very loved, but it's an odd one to replace into Forge World resin. I mean, I don't think anything Forge or Resin has been specifically replacing Finecast in the troops perspective yet before, but it's welcome. They're solid. They're not amazing, but they're solid, and they match the new Rumil and Orifin models pretty nicely. So there's that. And I guess we were kind of expecting this one after the little teasers on Instagram this week, focusing on Lothlorien and Rivendell. We were expecting an Elrond, but this is like one of the best models in the range. I think this foot and mounted combo. I think those are really stunning, and I like that they're kind of focusing on the Last Alliance era. Elrond, it's really nice looking. That bodes well for all the people that want more Last Alliance content from Games Workshop. I just think these sculpts are amazing. Like, I don't need more Elrons, but like, that's amazing. I've got to get that. Like, the facial sculpts are stunning. Look at the hair on the mounted one, and the kind of momentum of horse and rider, just brilliant. And they're going to come with this kind of banner bearer guy, as seen in the movie, with gil-galad's, standard. And there was a little hint in the stream that we might be seeing a gil-galad, so that does lean more towards possible Last Alliance stuff in the near future. So that's what they revealed today. It's all really good stuff. The Galadrim Court Guard guy is probably least exciting for me, but the box sets are super win in my opinion. The battle hosts are a really good thing to have in the range. We at our club we got a lot of new players. We got a lot of people who are interested today. We got new people joining the group, our WhatsApp group today, being like, I want to get into this force. I want to get into that force. There are boxes that you can point those people to now, rather than being like, well, if you just get this 15-year-old metal model and this 20-year-old plastic sprue and this thing. No, now you can. Here's a box, with at least one modern plastic kit in it for the hero. That's good. That's real progress and real more like parity with the other games. Glauvendel and Elrond, absolute stunners. Super pleased about them. I'll be getting the starter kit. I'm excited about the terrain in that. I think the old Osgiliath ruins are a bit limited. They're very much the kind of, something to duck behind type terrain, not something to make your table look great, not something to build exciting things with. So I'm really really pleased with them. I think I'll pick a few up, when they become available separately. I'm not going to buy loads of starter boxes. That'd be daft. Might buy two. The things they didn't announce today is anything to do with what the next supplement is. So speculation in that regard goes on. Some people pointing out that the Thorin versus Azog character series Forge World 2-pack, on the ice is being retired. Does that mean the quest for Erebor supplement is more likely? But then we have, this kind of focus on elves right now. If they released plastic high elves, and you could put a battle host together for them with an Elrond leading them, and hints at gil-galad. Maybe that's a thing. It's unusual for us not to know anything about our next supplement. Normally we know what the next one is once we've finished with the current one. Once that's all out, we know what we're looking forward to next. So maybe we'll hear more over the summer, but it doesn't feel like it. The box set, the starter set, is coming later in the year, maybe November. I mean, they won't be specific. They say in time for Christmas, before Christmas. So it might be October, November. It's going to depend on when other Games Workshop box sets come out. They like to space them out so that some idiots like me can buy all of them. So I think, we might have to a little wait for that. But the battle hosts are coming really soon, and these Elven heroes, apart from Elrond, are up for order next week. That's kind of exciting stuff. There's been some grumbles online already. Why don't they do plastic troops? What we want is plastic troops. I'm not convinced that replacing old plastic troop kits is as much of a no-brainer as big fans of the game think it is. That's what they do in 40K, and to a lesser extent AOS. They replace old plastic kits with new plastic kits. That hasn't been done at all in Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings. It's harder to justify the sales. I mean, based on sales, I don't know. I can really see why they're not doing that. Why they're sticking to the characters in plastic policy. The only one that I can see them doing, if they were going to do it, is the Last Alliance, because they are equal oldest sculpts with the Moria goblins, and they are awkwardly built onto one frame. So if you did want to do battle hosts or anything like that, you can't, because you've got Numenor guys in with your elves. There might be a reason to do it, and these new elves look great. They look like they could do with leading some great new elf infantry, but I still don't really think it's happening. I think so much of the Middle Earth player base has been playing a long time, has got a lot of stuff. I don't think there's necessarily the money there to be made in repeating old plastic troop kits. In an ideal world, yeah, we'd have new ones with new poses and stuff. That'd be great, and with new, modern sculpts, modern sprues. But I don't really think it's going to happen. And you've got to remember, when this relaunch came in 2018, the game had been on really shaky ground, and we were so glad to have new plastic heroes and these great new Forge World models and stuff. I mean, it's easy to forget how kind of bottomed out the game was, and I think, I'm really pleased with what we're getting and what we've got. I think it's great. Some people are saying, what about the stuff we haven't got? We're going to do a video on that, but there's not that much left to do that hasn't been done at all. So I think that's one of the reasons why you see, plastic upgrades of older character kits. There's a few glaring omissions. I mean, like, we still don't have a plastic Boromir kit. That's surely one of the most wanted. Plastic Gandalf the Grey, plastic Frodo, Sam, and Gollum. There's a lot more, to be done. I think that's viable as plastic kits for the film. As for the new rules, I mean, I'm glad it's not a new edition. There are advantages to having a new edition, but I really didn't want our source books to be invalidated. The shelf full of supplements for this game is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous shelf of books. I'm all up for keeping that. I'll gladly have this new rules manual to replace my existing one. That's fine. But not having to buy new army books is great. It's encouraging. I think it means a new rule book that's going to replace the old one. Obviously it's in the box, but as a freestanding rule book, it's going to replace the other one. That gives us a kind of new trust in the game system. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be around getting compatible supplements for a while. It's they wouldn't be putting out a new, errata rules manual if the game was going to run out of steam anytime soon. So I think that's great news. It's also not something they've done very often in the past Games Workshop. Just a minor tidy up rulebook. It's not very common, and it speaks to a kind of more mature handling of this game system than what they have with the big two games, where they it's all about cycles of releasing everything again and that kind of thing. There's something nice about, like, well, no, you can still use your models from 20 years ago. It's all good. This is a mature game that isn't being rewritten every year or two. It's a safe investment. That's a good point about the game. So yeah, rounding up, love the new models. Loving the box set, especially the terrain. Excited to hear what the next supplements are, though. What are we getting next? Like, this really feels like, if it is a quest for Erebor, apart from this one thing going out of print, there's nothing pointing towards that, And in the same way that, like, so after we had Pelennor Fields box, the first expansion we got after that was War in Gondor at War, which fed right off it. Surely after this Osgiliath box set, we'll get an expansion that's building off that. That's how you integrate new players that come from the box set into the buying the supplements and expanding their armies with the new stuff. That's how you do that, right? So interesting, interesting what will come next. Drop a comment with what you think of it all. There's a lot of chat going on. There's a lot of some people were really super negative. I'm not feeling that. I think this is exciting stuff. I'm excited. It's Gen Con this week. I want them to show this box set off at Gen Con. I want them to bring in new players, get people excited about this game. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's still going. I played that when I was a kid." Get those people back into the game. This is a solid game. It was no flash in the pan. It's been going 20 years. Not many miniatures game systems can say they last 20 years. Some can, but most of them don't. I hope you had an exciting day and you got to watch the stream live, unlike me. And yeah, thanks for all the watches on the last video as well. That was wicked. Lots of watching, lots of comments, shares and stuff. It's been really sweet. And I like talking about this game, and yeah, I'm excited. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.